and they also perceive to be able to cope with these challenges. On the other side, one of the basic discoveries of Professor Csikszentmihalyi in the domain of creativity is the problem finding. The fact that creative people see problems where other people don't see them. And this is the basic source of and the basic impulse bringing the creative people to discover new things. In flow, people see challenges. When people are creative, people find problems. And therefore there is a very clear connection between getting optimal experience and being creative. The legacy of Professor Csikszentmihalyi to science in general is the idea that anybody can be creative because anybody can perceive flow in his or her daily life. And thus anybody can contribute effectively to the personal well-being and to the well-being of others. Thank you very much.
Mike Csikszentmihalyi is a great bear of a person and a great bear of an intellect. He's an enormous fun to be with. His knowledge of the history of not only psychology, but the history of literature, the history of the arts is staggering. He's just about as much fun to interact with as anyone I know. As far as his science goes, he's an unusual scientist for psychology. So unlike most of the last half of the 20th century, he didn't do controlled experiments and analysis of variance. Rather, he took phenomenology very seriously and asked the question, what is going through the minds of people when they're in flow and when they create? So I would say he is the leading phenomenologist of the second half of the 20th century in psychology. And some of his most important discoveries have been in creativity. The one that's most important to me is when people talk about creativity, they usually lodge it within the individual creator himself, herself. Mike tells us that's profoundly mistaken. So in distinguishing between originality, which is a property of the creator, and appreciation of the audience, which is a property of the audience, Mike tells us creativity differs. It's a combination of knowing your audience and being original. And I think for all of us who try to do creative things in science and life, the notion of audience appreciation and the notion of generosity, that part of what creativity is generosity to the world, is a breakthrough in thinking about creativity.
Greetings, I'm Howard Gardner, and I'm speaking to you from my office at Harvard University in Cambridge, Massachusetts. I'm very pleased to have the opportunity to salute my friend and colleague Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, who is being honored for his work in creativity and innovation. As you know, Mihaly is a brilliant scholar, esteemed all over the world. He's best known for his work on flow, the psychological state which is between boredom on the one hand and anxiety on the other. Flow is known by everybody from presidents and prime ministers to football coaches to the ordinary human being on the street. And once you hear the idea, you say, gee, this fits completely with my own experience. Why didn't somebody think of it before? But like all truly original ideas, the deeper you go into flow, the more you realize it's many manifestations, and it's given energy and direction to research for many, many years. In addition to Mihaly's work on flow, He's also well known for studies of adolescence, of talent, of the arts, of motivation throughout the life cycle, of the evolving self, and the work that you're honoring him for today on creativity and innovation. I have many colleagues who are well known in the social sciences. Mihaly is one of the very few who I'm confident will be read 50 years from now. We've been friends for many years, and 15 years ago we began to work together on a project called the Good Work Project, also with our friend and colleague Bill Damon. This is a study of what happens to professions in the current milieu, where there are very powerful market forces, things are changing